class of this workshop. I thank you all for joining and staying motivated all through this training. And I also want to thank Miss Ruth for your efforts. We really appreciate your efforts. It means a lot to us. So I I would also like to thank our host, and David, for everything that you have done. It means a lot to us. So I'd like to pass the mic to you
Thank you,
now,
mom.
Miss Ruth. Thank you.
Okay, good. So this so I'm going to show you, assuming I downloaded the ArcGIS, how I'm going to install it. So that's what I will start with first. So here I have two type of GIS. They have so many versions of it and they keep on improving it every day. So this is my 10.4 version, and I also have 10.41, and they have 10.7, they have 10.8, and just like that. I can see somebody saying in the group chat before we started the section that the video I sent is not the same thing with the one, the link I sent. Yes, it's still the same way of downloading. You see the same, just different. The difference is just that they are different versions, but it's still the same process of downloading it. So if I have that file I sent to you, what is going to, when I click on it, it's going to give me a download version to open a download version like a zip file, so which I will download. And when I download it, it's going to come out as a crack file. That is a crack version of the ArcGIS, because normally this ArcGIS is something that before you have to use, you have to buy it. Just the way we buy Petrel, we buy Kingdom and other softwares that we use. But some persons were able to have develop a crack version of it, which you can now get free from the net and everything. So, and this is what will come out after you have installed it in your system. So firstly, this place you have your service, you have to go to this place. There is a place you can see root PC. Normally, what is supposed to be here is local hosts. Local host is what is supposed to be here. So, but you have to change it to be the same name with what is in your PC. So that is why I have to just do this thing, then quickly change it, edit it, and put my name or something, name of my PC on it. If you want to check name of your PC, let me also show you. In case you don't know how to check the name of your PC, just go to your control panel. Go to your control panel, go to this place, you see your system. You see, my name is Ruth now, and you can easily change this name too. You can do here where you have rename, and you can change it to anything you want to. You can change it to anything you want to, and that is it. So then, name here, you have to be very careful. Is the name, the exact name that you put as name of your PC. That is what you're going to put in the service we just I just opened before I quickly showed you how to find the name of your PC. So okay. So I was showing you something here. So this is it. You have to put it here. And after that, also make sure that you know when you put it, if you press enter, as when I put something here and I press enter, it's coming down. It's not supposed to be there that way. You have to still be in the same line with this so that you not finish and just press enter and have complicated everything. Just after you are done, just come to this place and do your save, and that is it. So when you are done with that, this is for this service. Then when you are done with this, you have to leave this license, then come to your desktop. When you download, you're also going to have some versions like this. Yes, something like this is going to come out. So this you just click, then you have to put the location where you want it to be. You can browse and maybe make a desktop. You can even do a new folder, put it in a location. Me, I prefer a desktop location where I can easily have access to. So when you put it in a location, press OK, then the next. See, it has started extracting the data that is in it. So when you are done with this, next thing you are going to do now is go to this place. You are seeing this setup, right? And you are also seeing this setup file. This setup here, when you click on it, you're going to see the pop-up telling you is for Windows installer package. This particular setup is still the same thing with this other setup. I was able to get this because this particular GIS was given to me with a flash, so it has so many things in it. And this particular one for me is not relevant because it's still the same thing with the one in this setup. So I can just click this thing, and my package is installing now. So you can see. So installation has been successful for extracting that, which is the other one we're extracting. Okay. So it asks you if you want to allow change. I don't know if you're still seeing my screen. Then you say yes. Then you start with the installation. So because I already have installed this in my system, that's why it's now showing me repair and modify. But if you have not installed it, it's going to show you complete. So you're going to show you complete and custom. So you click on the complete, that you need the complete features of everything on the package. That is what you need. Another one is custom. You need customized features on everything that is in the package. But because I've already installed this in the system, that's why it's showing these three things. Whether I want to modify what I've installed, or I want to repair it, or I want to remove it like that, uninstall it. So just quickly click next. Then here, ArcGIS particular has 4 different main branches or so. It has an arc log, it has an arc map, it also has what they call arc sab. So all these things now, and ArcGIS, you can also work with ArcGIS and Python. You can work together with it. So that is why you're seeing all these things here, all these features here. So you don't need to click anything. These things are correct. You just have to do your next and start installation. So this installation now is going to take a little while, but maybe we should just hold on for it. But as the thing is installing, let me just quickly show you some things. Okay, finish. Okay. So we can go as it's installing. We can go back to our PowerPoint. So like I said first, I have some pictures I wanted to show you. So like this is the 4th part of GIS that is very important. Like I said, the arc scene, the arc map, the arc globe, and the catalog. So next thing I'm going to do now, I want to explain all these things to you separately, like what they do and how they work and everything. So because we have already agreed that today we are not waiting for that installment in installation, I'm going to say it's going to take a whole lot of time for it to finish, and we start putting it in our system and start using it is also another time, and I don't think we'll have that kind of time today. So where is this image? So I just wish I can be working directly with you today. It's going to be very, very interesting so that you can be seeing me making some changes and the rest. So what can we actually do with your app map? You can do your mapping, do your editing, your queries, your analysis, and you can also print those maps as an image. So that is what you can do. Then your app catalog, what majorly you do is, you know what catalog does, normal catalog. It gives you a pictures of or features of things you need to use and everything. So this app catalog also does the same thing, because when you are plotting something, I want to give you one very basic idea of what ArcGIS is, because if you have the dummy idea of what ArcGIS is and what you do, you can make it to link what you want to create with it or what you want to use it for. ArcGIS is a scenario like, I want to use something, one, and that thing I want to build, I want it to be in a map form. But I have gone to a field work and I'm back with so many coordinates, and I want to bring out the map of this field work in a digital way. I don't want to sit down and start doing normal cross section, and the rest we do with our normal manual map. I want to do it in a digital form. So ArcGIS is now that software that you're going to use. So that means you need all those things you have gotten from all those data you have gotten from the field, your GPS location data and everything. You need everything for you to be able to put this in a map. Remember, you're the one creating it, so you must probably have gone to the field and see so many features. You have seen a river, you have seen that road was here and this is here. So you're coming back to your ArcGIS now to put all those things you have seen here, so that you'll be in a digital form that you can easily put in a research paper, present it to your clients and everything. Another amazing thing that ArcGIS does is that you can use ArcGIS to view your real-time place, because ArcGIS works with server. If I have an office, and maybe I also have another office that is in maybe in like 20 meters away from where I'm living, or something that can take maybe 15 kilometers from where I'm living, I can go to that place, my second office, and get some coordinates of that thing, then come back to my ArcGIS and put it in. So I can be in my office now, and I want to check where is the place I drop my oil, or where is the place that where is the place that will dug a borehole in that my second office. I can easily sit in my ArcGIS using the ArcGlobe and put the coordinates in it, and I will be able to see the place that thing is and how it looks like. So this is just like an overview of what I'm doing. Instead of you using normal hand to plot a map or do some checks or go to a place, let me adjust, because that's why this course was supposed to put you through ArcGIS and Google Earth. So instead of you doing all those things, you can sit down in a place you are and use your software, which is ArcGIS, and it will do that work for you while you give the ArcGIS the command. Remember, you're the one that wants to give the ArcGIS the command. It's not a robot, so it cannot just know what you want and do for you. So that is why we have these 4 types of main branches that gives you the idea or the features or the equipment you need to be able to build what you want to do, which where we'll have the catalog. Catalog will give you different features of what you want to put in. You can use it to create and define and manage a data project. You can even use it to bring out a new shapefile. That's what we call shapefile. In the shapefile, that's where we get this the shape of a river, the shape of the road. This, you can say this one is the main road, or this one is a shorter road. I think I'm communicating. Can somebody answer me? Am I too far?
Yes.
No.
I'm not.
You're communicating.
So when you open your app, your GIS, the first thing you see is, I don't know why I did not put this image here. Please hold on a bit. I want to show you the interface of the ArcGIS and how it looks like. Okay, good. So you can see this particular image, right? So when you come to your ArcGIS, this is the first thing you're going to see, which is this place. Remember, this is, you open your ArcMap, right? You are trying to do a map of where or whatever you have done before or anything. So this is what you're going to see. And you can see very well how the arrow showed you where a toolbar is. So this thing, you can decide to customize the tools you need for your work, the kind of things you want to be seen as you're doing your work, which is what they call this floating toolbar. So you now use your hand now to get this toolbar, add it, put all the features in it. It's as simple as anything. You just have to go to the edit, which all this I cannot show you now. So how you are going to do it is what I'm not going to do in the real-time video. So don't be true, don't say that I'm not seeing how she's doing it, because me, I'm not doing real life. Are we in the same page? Hello? Are we on the same page? Okay.
Yes, Maria.
So because of what we have agreed, I cannot show you now how they got this place, but I'm just trying to show you an overview of what we are going to see when I'm doing the real-time video, okay? So your floating toolbar just gives you all the features you have been able to choose that you want to need. You can choose that, what they call vector points. You can choose your vector points and make it in your toolbar, keep it beside this, maybe your left or your right hand, that you can easily click instead of going all through and sorting out of whatever you need. So that is it. Then this is the data view. Data view is as you are working on your this thing. Remember, you are doing a map. One amazing thing about map that you have to know, that is the same thing whether digital or off digital, is the scale, meaning that your map must have a scale. Understand? So this layout or this layout toolbar gives you how to set your scale, how big you want your map to look like. If it's 1:1000 or 1:2000, are you getting the point? So that is what this layout toolbar is going to do for you. So they are just showing you arrows on how to see, where to see all this toolbar. Your drawing toolbar is here, your standard toolbar is here, and that is it. So I want to also say something is that one amazing thing again about ArcGIS is that just the way we do for new plots, we're able to put data using CSV or .dat file. You can also use a data format to also put some points in your listing. So maybe you have gone to field and you have gotten so much coordinates, and you also put you want to import it back to your ArcGIS. There's no worries, it's also doable. You just have to make your data to be a data that is very acceptable to your GIS, which is the same thing as the CSV. How do you create a CSV file? I think yesterday we were able to do justice to that. Most of the time, you always use a command window, a command spreadsheet, a command format where you can see using your notepad, when you can see using your Excel sheet. You can easily put your data on Excel. I hope this particular thing is recording, because when I'm doing the real time, I may not have time to come and, good. I may not have time to give all these details I'm giving. So sorry, I'm a person that I try like understanding of things before I do it, because that will give me the idea to be able to create more on it. But if I have a shallow understanding of what I'm teaching you, or you have a shallow understanding of what you are learning today, you cannot do well in the ArcGIS life, because what you are putting on the ArcGIS is what you have known. So it's the more you know, is the better creative you are going to be when working with it. I hope you understand. So when I'm going into much details, I'm trying to use simple terms to explain it. I want you to understand. I know that we are all final years. Most of us are even master students or even graduated, and it may be boring to you, me drawing back to the genesis for me to explain a thing for you. But please, I want you to appreciate the fact that understanding of anything gives you more power to be able to create in that particular field. So that's why I'll be going this kind of details to explain this stuff to you. So like I said, you can always create, put in data that you have gotten from your coordinates and whatever this thing you did, which when I'm working, I'm also going to share, I can share it right away. The data I'm going to use and work, do the real-time work, I can also share it. So you download those data and you can be able to, you can download the data, and when you're watching the real-time video I'm going to do, you can now be following it through with the data too and be seeing how it changes and how everything works. Good. Then here we are just trying to tell you, like I explained what the catalog does, right? So it gives you kind of many pictures or shape files of what so many things you want to do, and you can create in the catalog. So assuming there is something you want to do, and maybe you are not seeing the shape file, and you are the one that was in the field, definitely, and you know how much of it. I was talking to a friend, and I told my friend that the most difficult thing to put in ArcGIS is the current structure. Maybe if you're someone that is working with so many of ocean data and everything, and maybe you have gone to see some structures, marine structures, there's some current flows that you may not see the shape. So you have to actually use your idea of your knowledge of geology and your knowledge of the particular subject to create this in the catalog, so that you can put a picture that somebody can easily understand. Just assuming you are trying to explain a current that is flowing in all directions, like a structure of a current that is flowing in all directions. That means it's not a ripple mark, but it can have a ripple mark. That means it's not a cross bedding, but it can have a cross bedding. Or that means it's not a stratification, but it can have a stratification. So all this now, if you're going to interpret this thing in the catalog, what you will now do is now you have to put all these structures are already there already. But what you want to do now has a mixture of all these structures. So it's now you as someone that is creative enough to know that, okay, there's a way I can actually mix this particular cross stratification and maybe lamination and maybe ripple mark in the same place, and it shows me the flow of that current I want to express. So basically that is it. Then the search button is always, that is why internet is always a very good place to be. Cyberloafing is always a very good habit to have. Someone is laughing. Not good habit to have though, because you can actually find yourself when you get lost. You can find it. So yesterday when we finished yesterday we got lost at a point. Me too, I even got lost because I was totally confused on what the new plot was giving to us. What happened was, afterwards I went back, then I went to start reading the helps, and the helps were able to tell me, oh, this is where you went wrong, this is what you're supposed to do. So which is why it's amazing. So the same thing goes with ArcGIS. There's always a help place. There's always a place to find yourself when you get lost. So which is where the search button is going to show you. So let's do composing of a map. I just want to give you a general overview of this so you can get a picture of what this image is showing to you. Maps are made up of how many things? For you to, normally the one we do, the conventional one we do, that is the same. I want to, if you don't know how to do conventional map, that a hand map, you can learn it. Because if you don't understand that manual one, it will be difficult for you to give a good and sounding map in ArcGIS. It will be difficult. So you need to understand the genesis of whatever we're talking about in map. I want you to start seeing geology as not a science, but a technology. Because everything you are doing now in geology needs an expression. And you can only express those things using something virtual, something somebody can easily see. Just the same way when you see a lot of writing, say, I beg you push can put this in a diagram. It's more easy to understand when things are not in writing, and people need to write so much or take so much time, and they can easily read it. That is why all these softwares and software developers, they are making their money because they are making life easier for us, and everyone wants an easy life. So if you don't know how to plot a map, maybe I can also teach you how to plot a map, because I think I got my map in school. It's something, and somebody taught me to. So because that is where you need to start tapping your energy from before you start going to this digital one. You need to get that genesis understanding of it, so you can be creative enough to work with GIS. Okay, so remember, we're going to have our elevations when you are doing. Most of the time when we go to the field, we are so lousy to even listen to the lecturers. They will be telling you what to do, but you are busy complaining that you want to go and eat food. Next 5 years after you have complained that you want to eat food, you will still see your lecturer, and maybe your lecturer will not give you money to eat food, or you'll be the one giving your lecturer money to eat food, depending on how you make your bed. So all these things will take, those elevation, those time, those data will take. Sometimes we come to a particular outcrop, and they will ask you to measure it. All these things, they are important in composing of your map in ArcGIS, because when you put on the settings where you are supposed to put your elevation and everything, you'll be seeing it. And if you don't have an idea of what you have seen in what you want to build, there's no how you can know that the scale is supposed to be 100 or 1,000 or 5,000. So that is it. Should I continue, or is there any questions so far?
Can continue, ma'am.
So working with vector data, what is the simplest way to explain this vector data? Vector data, for me, I think the easiest way to explain is like point data, something that data that has points, which mostly of our data has points. Most of the data we generate, most of them are from maybe time, temperature, depth, all those data, which most of the time maybe you have gotten your time on seconds, and you want to convert it on centimeter, or you have gotten this on kilometer, you want to convert it on meters. It's definitely going to have a point. So for me, vector data in a simplest way to explain to maybe a kid or a dummy is that vector data are mostly point data. So that is what you do when you are working with GIS. Most of the data you use are point data. Remember your latitude and longitude. Yeah, for Nigeria, especially people in the southeast, they are either 7 point something something or 9 point something something. So that is the standard of it. So all this data is because they are in points and on what they call those ones that follow the back. So they are mostly that's why they call them vector data. So with ArcGIS, you can plot this data, and we have polylines and polygons. What do we call the polylines and polygons? The polylines and polygons are like, how will I put it? Yesterday we did something on GIS, and we did a graph, and you are seeing some stars, and you are seeing some plots, and you are seeing all these things are expression of how data looks like. Some will be in points, some will be in stars, some will be in error bar. Error bar are like line and cross and everything. So that is basically how you can see. I wish you can be seeing this as I'm explaining it directly, but I will also do justice to that. So please don't be too much offended or bored with my so much words. So you can also do normally the styling of your map, the adding of labels, and geoprocessing. Geoprocessing, very important. What is geoprocessing? In your map, there are so many places you have intersection, because your map gives you an area of a place, right? You want to see area of a place. Those area of a places have interlinked with either road, stream, markets, cities where people are staying and everything. So how are you going to know that this is the place that this thing is? That is where your georeferencing, they also call it georeferencing. That is where your georeferencing comes in. So I'm also going to show you how to do georeferencing, and that is it. I wish we are seeing this, making this work a bit slow for me, because there is nothing practical we are doing. So building of a map, downloading and importing data. Okay, let me talk about attributes. There are some attributes that are going to be seen when you're plotting, when you're working with your map. I don't know if I want this thing to be a little bit engaging, because you know this is an online class. Maybe Sharon is even sleeping and I'm thinking she's listening to me. So let me start with her. So Sharon, what kind of attributes will you likely think you will see in a map? That's it. She's sleeping now. Who else is there? Let me call another person. Sharon is sleeping. Wheels. What type of attribute will you likely see in a map? Maybe Wheels is even drinking alcohol and you are thinking he's joining our class.
The title. Can I go on?
Yeah, you can go on.
The title, scale, the legend, the symbol, the cardinal point. Yes.
You're not sleeping. Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I can remember for now.
You're not sleeping. Thank you. So who else wants to talk? As someone's hands is up, so you can talk. If someone's hands is up, I was thinking the person want to talk. He has lowered his hand. iPhone 13, please, can you tell us kind of attributes you would be expecting to see in the map?
My name is Faith. He has
Please.
actually said the attribute like title, the cardinal points. Those are what I could remember too.
Okay, what do you think? What do you understand by the cardinal points?
Points where you join. I don't know how to explain it, but those are points where. What English am I going to use now? I don't know how to explain it.
Princess, please, can you help her out?
Pointing out.
The attributes you can see in the map, you can see the symbols and the skills to use in the map. The symbols, some symbols.
Yes, I said you should help her out with what is cardinal point.
Cardinal points.
So, okay, I want you guys to be sincere. If you know how to do a map confidently on yourself, can you raise your hand up? Let me see you. Normal map, a geologic map.
Okay, yes.
I'm a geologist. I can do the map.
I can.
You can do a normal map.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I can do one map.
Who else can do it? I'm only hearing two people's voice. So. Because honestly, that's one thing. Many people have actually.
What kind of map?
A geologic map, of course, now.
Okay, yeah.
So if I go to field now and come back with a topography map and maybe a map, or maybe an unbuilt map, like something that you don't have, a map that doesn't have a feature and everything, and tell you, okay, prepare this map for me. And after I've done that, you have to do the cross section, you have to do everything. You guys can do it very well, because this is the same thing you're going to be interpreting and putting in your digital map, which is what ArcGIS is helping you do. So if you have less knowledge of this thing in normal way, I would ask you to please, Wills is a geologist already. Go and make him your friend. Which other person said she can do map? Please try and understand this thing. It's actually the basic. Many people have gotten so many skills and they just get it shabby. They just want to get it, maybe because they said this our workshop has certificate. Don't reason and say, okay, let me just go and get the certificate. It's not about getting it. It's about after you have gotten those knowledge, are you able to practice them? Because after this class, to be frank with you, 2 to 3 days, you'll forget all these things. It's even better now we have recording. So if you don't culture yourself to go back to it, to practice it, to work with some data with it, there is no how you'll be able to get the best out of it. There is no how. So the latest gist now is that I was able to get a job, which was supposed to be, I was supposed to go do an IT job in the port of the city I'm living. I came to apply for an IT job. But when we started doing the interview, they found that I can use GIS very well, and I can also use some other software. With also some knowledge I have with geology, I've known, which I didn't even know I know. And these guys, they are not geologists, they are marine surveyors, and they need some help with a geologist. Because of that, I was converted from just being a student that coming for IT to managing a project. So it's not a child's joke when we're asking you to learn graphs, learn how to plot graphs, and how to use all this software. It's not a child's joke. It can change your life at any time, at any day. So now I'm not getting so many things that I'm not worried about again because of this kind of job I've gotten. So iPhone 18, you can 13, you can talk, okay?
Ma, sorry for asking this question. Right now, all of us, like me, I'm talk about myself. We are confused. We are learning a lot. So many come and learn this, come and learn that, come and learn. At this point, what do you feel or what do you think is right for us to know, for us to be prepared for the industry?
Okay, we're a bit diverting, but I can still,
I know.
I can still talk to you. I did a video. I don't know how many people have my number, but if you watch that my video, you're going to laugh and you're going to learn. So I will share that video to you. The simple answer is that geology is the study of Earth. Study of the full Earth. Just imagine only Nigeria is giving us so much wahala. Just imagine someone that is studying geology. Geologist is a madman. Because what you are studying is too much. You are studying geophysics, physics, you are studying chemistry, you are studying biology, you are studying engineering, you are studying petrol, you are studying, what are you not studying? So that's why if you see a brilliant geologist, that person is absolutely good. A second-class upper in a geology second-class upper is a first-class upper in chemistry, because that person was able to pass chemistry and also pass physics and pass biology. So this particular topic is something we are going to do on another respectful day. Maybe you can take my number and I will.
That'll be very nice. That'll be very nice.
But it's not something we are going to treat here. Just know that for you to do well in ArcGIS, you have to know the background of the map. You have to know how to plot a conventional map, because that is what you are creating in a digital way. So the people that answered things about the attributes did very well. Let me quickly go to the chat. I think I have maybe something that is important. Okay, someone said that the ArcGIS I sent is not the one I'm using. That I don't know how early you were, but I explained to you that I have like 3 ArcGIS versions. I have the 10.4, the 10.4.1, and the 10.7. And the one I sent to you guys was 10.4.1, right? If I'm correct. So that's the one I sent. And that is the one we are supposed to use to do this thing. So when I'm doing my real-time video, I'll make sure I use that 10.4.1 so that you can understand it. But basically these things are the same. Like, excuse me, like I said, I was trying to upgrade today to 10.7, 10.7, and it was giving me a whole lot of stress. That's why we do not have to start doing downloading today, because if we start doing downloading, it's going to take a whole lot of our time. So that is it. I think I've answered that question. Then who else? Someone said I'm a geophysics student and I'm struggling with this workshop a bit. Why now? This particular ArcGIS, even engineers use it. Marine, what do they call it? Aquaculture. They use it. So you're not supposed to be struggling. And normally, as a geophysicist, whether you're a geophysicist or Geo anything, Geo means map. Geo means Geo in particular is a map like is a map scenario. Everything we do, we have to explain it through something, and that is why in our 100 level, all of us do map, whether you are a geophysicist or you are a geologist. So I think your issue is not being a geophysicist. Your issue is understanding map. So I would advise you, David, to go and learn how to do map. Make Will your friend. Will say he's a geologist and he knows how to do map. Make him your friend. I can also explain some basic, but I may not give you in detail because I do not have the time. Who else is asking the question before I go further on the things you can see in the map and everything? Is your hand still, is it the question you asked before or a new hand? Okay, I think it's the question you asked before. So let's keep going. So in the map interface, normally you're going to see table of contents. Just know that in any software you're working, there's some basic things you're supposed to have in your mind that is what you are going to see. The same thing is going to happen when you are opening your ArcGIS, and you are going to see all those basic things, your display area, your table of contents, your toolbar, your scales, and that's your, what do they call that piece? Your layout, yes, your layouts, where you can now put in your scale and start visualizing your maps. So that's, just know that you're going to also see it when you get there. So this is explaining tools bar, and we have done this already. I don't think there is so much again I will explain that does not need to be explained using a video. David, what do you think?
I think you can go on, move further instead of explaining.
Yes, I think I should start doing the video now.
Yeah.
Since I have a little time before I go to work, my work starts by 5, so I can start doing the video. That means we will use just now to answer question, and then we can end the class. Then I will do the video and send. I'm trying to, the video I did for yesterday was a bit big, so I'm trying to make it a bit compressed so that when I put it on my Google Drive, I can send you the link for you to watch. That's for the one for the new plot and the settling. But okay, since we have a bit time, I think it would be to be kind of me to also, I didn't explain anything about the set log at all to you guys. So I think it would be kind of me to also explain that a bit about set log to you, so that when you are seeing the video, probably this night or tomorrow morning, you'll be able to understand all the things I was doing there. Okay.
All right. That's nice.
Okay, thank you so much.
So okay, how many of you know Boma sequence?
Boma sequence.
How many of you know it? Yes.
Or Bowen reaction series.
No, not Bowen reaction series. Bowen reaction series is hard rocks now. But Boma sequence, how many of you know about it? Have you not done segmentology in school? Okay. We'll have an idea, because I think Boma sequence is actually the best sequence to explain lithology for anybody that wants to learn lithology, because what we are doing in log is lithology. You are trying to put what you have seen, the succession of beddings, succession of deposition that you have seen in the core. Someone wants to say something, right?
Yeah, I think I can still remember the diagram, which contains a final upward sequence, coarsening upward sequence, accumulation together, blah, blah, blah.
And also some chronostratigraphy. Please, I want you to do something for me. If there is no other thing you can do for yourself as a geologist, please understand. I know lecturers will say cram it and pass, but please understand anything you are learning. It's very important. Like yesterday, the first day we started this program, my supervisor was saying there is no geology without model. You cannot even model what you don't know. That is why it's very important for you to understand any topic you are being taught. I'm starting up a project and I'm calling it Talking Geoscience. That is what I'm calling it. And I want everyone to engage it. What the idea is, I want to be explaining every topic in geoscience the way a dummy is going to understand it. Because I found out that one of the reasons why we are not doing well is not because we are not having good grades, but our grades and our knowledge are not being justifiable. You can see someone that has first class in geology and you wake the person up and say, what is the fault? He's telling you, I don't forget the dry definition. Fault that you can even use your hand and display. Fault you can even use your, the simplest way, but that person is having a good grade in geoscience. Just imagine how that person is now going to develop a good model where you cannot even understand the basic things in it. So that project, hopefully by God's grace, will be starting up next month. And what I'll be doing is I'll be explaining any geology topic in a dummy way, in a way that everybody can understand. So I was able to participate in the Talking Science competition. I think I shared a video on the group. And the idea of the Talking Science was to explain every science subject in a way a non-scientific audience can understand it in 3 minutes time. So that was just like, you have to use the simplest way to explain this, and that gives you the foundation of understanding of that subject. So please and please understand whatever they have been teaching you. If the man teacher finish for class, go to YouTube, thank God for YouTube. Type, that is how I read when I was in school. If I want to read, I use algebra for dummies. I believe I don't know anything. So I'll get to the lowest part of it, then I'll start learning it to the upper part. But sometimes you don't really want to get the foundation. And when your foundation is weak, nothing is going to happen. You may get the grades, come out, but you still feel lost inside of you, and which is the worst thing that can ever happen to anyone. So for you to understand said log already, go and understand what Boma sequence is, how successions happen, what are in this succession, you're going to be having the contacts. What are different contacts we have? We have sharp, we have gradational, we have erosional contacts. In a sequence, what are the features you can see in a sequence? You can see some sedimentary structures, right? Where you have your ripple marks, when you have your horrors, when you have your tracks, when you have your fossils. In these fossils, depending on area, what kind of fossil can you see? When you have your Cephalopoders, when you have your ostracode, when you have your Simondia, when you have your Meladias and the rest. So all these things is what you have to understand before you start asking yourself, let me do a cell. Because normally you can use your pen and paper and draw a lithological representation on with your pen and paper. But now life is not about pen and paper again. Life is about system and mouse. So you now have to start doing all these things with your system. So if you don't have an idea of how to do it in paper, or even what it looks like, a visual view of it in the field, or when on the core you have been able to look at, there is going to be a slim way for you to represent this thing very well, right? So that is it. It's going to be very helpful for you and me, because why I'm going to benefit from it is that when you have money or you own a company tomorrow, I will easily match into your company or match into your listing and enjoy whatever you have. So that is why I'm benefiting from whatever you're going to do. And that's why I'm begging you, and I'm not persuading you, and I'm not putting pressure. I know we are already doing well. Your GP is probably very good. But in a global world, It's not only about how much you have gotten, it's about how much you know. Recently, I was telling a friend that reason why IT is as sweet as it is to me is that in the IT world, people don't ask you, what do you know? They ask you, show me what you know. So that is why when you see an IT CV, the only thing you'll be seeing is link. So I'm also giving you a tip if you don't know before. This new plot we are working on, when you are practicing your own, do a demo. You practicing it. Maybe when you have done the first one and you're doing the second one, do a demo on you doing it. Create a link of that demo and put it in your CV. So when you submit it to me as a HR that I am proficient in using ArcGIS, you can see my work by this. Me as a HR, I'll click it and see what you can do. Compare with somebody that just said, I'm proficient with ArcGIS. I'm beating you hands down in getting that job. Because people don't care about what you know again. They care about what they want to see, what you know. They want to feel it. Because many people are getting 30 certificates in 2 weeks. With this digital online stuff now, you see, if you come to LinkedIn tomorrow now, you see so many people getting certificates. You're asking yourself, how did the person have extra time? Apart from 24 hours that all of us are sharing. So that is it. You need to be a step smarter for you to get something higher than the next person sitting next to you. When you are working with Excel sheets, you are doing so many things, you are doing so many calculations, probably connecting one data to the other. Sister, brother, do a demo of yourself doing that. Create a link of that demo, put it on your CV. A friend of mine graduated with that class. Luckily for him, we are friends. So we share energy, we share advice, we share everything. And when I was giving him this gist, I told him that bang yourself with some softwares. And when you are doing this software, putting proof that you have done it. I'm telling you, this guy is a project manager in NU. And he's doing well. He's even married though. So somebody that is doing as married, knows that that person is doing very, very well. So that is just the whole thing I'm trying to explain. In his said log, you are visualizing the things you have seen either in the core or maybe things you have seen in field. And in mostly both in sedimentary terrain and in basement terrains, meaning both in, I don't need to say telling you know it already. So especially in basement, it can be a little bit tricky because there are some things you may not see, but there are some things you can also see. In a basement terrain, as example, you can be seeing your hosts, right? You can be seeing your home fields. You can be seeing you can also get thicknesses of what this. You can see there's some of these hard rocks that also have beddings. Like when you see a shipper, what's a shipper? So when you see a shale, sorry, I'm speaking Dutch. When you see a shale, and you can see the lineation in it, knowing that this, you can see how it peels out, you know, how this schistosity, yes, you can see the schistosity of it. So that is it. You know that this is a shale, which is also a hard rock, but a metamorphic part. So in said rock, you can do both hard rock and, but mostly at times, said rock, you always correlate it with sedimentary. When I was doing one of my projects, I did, because I'm actually someone that I'm curious, I'm a curious person, so I love doing something. I can go to a conference and somebody is presenting a paper. I will be curious on some question about the paper. I can contact the person and I'll go back and work on that paper again. And I've worked on somebody's paper again and I modified his paper and his paper was now excellent. This paper gave us money. I've won many, many things with it because he now added me as a co-author. Normally, this is a paper he did on his own. And when he was presenting in a conference, there are so many things that is questionable, and I was curious about those things. I just collected his number and I went back home. He gave me the paper, I shared the paper with him, and I started researching on those things that I was questioning. And then I sent him a review of it, telling him that, oh, this is the things I was questioning on your paper, and this is what I think you can do for it. He was happy, and he said, okay, he's modifying his paper. Can you join with the paper? I said, yes. He added my name to it, and that was how we got the paper. So what am I saying? It takes curiosity for you to also be creative. It takes curiosity for you to want to do something. So this particular set log, mostly we align it with chronostratigraphy, because when you are seeing a set log, let me look at a picture of it, which I know I will be able to see a log where you can be able to see a visual idea of what I'm explaining. Okay, we can easily go to Google and search something. Search for it. So okay, I also shared, remember I shared something to you on the group, like a PDF file, right? Something to you by Asham, one guy from Bangladesh. I think I shared it to you guys so that you can see what SEDLog does. So let's just look for a lithology. Let's go to BIDA. You know, okay, I think this shows something like this is what you are going to develop with your SEDLog. Something like this. You're going to have your age, you're going to have your thickness, you're going to have your formation, you're going to have your units, you're going to have your base boundaries, you're going to have your structures, you're going to have, so this is the kind of things you're going to do with your, I know if you are actually working on a project relating to segmentology or doing any segment something, even when I did my IT in Boho, my supervisor said the reason why they gave me A was because I carried my soil sample and came, not even when what rubbish I said on my presentation. I came with my soil sample that day. All the soils, most of the soil, interesting soils I've gotten from this field, I came with it on that day and I displayed it. And because so many people did their this on Boho, so I didn't talk about how to do drilling because they have been hearing it for like hours before I presented. So what I basically talked about was how the soil I displayed on the table, how they were formed, how the different grain size, and what you can use the different grain size to do, your skewness, your sortings, fine grains, all this. That's what I was busy explaining to them, and that was the uniqueness of why I got an A in my undergraduate, that's IT defense. That was just it. So. And also after when I've seen my reports, I use SEDLog to now do this kind of lithology of what I've seen. So it's not just when you are in the field, you can use your SEDLog. Even people that is into geotechnics, right? Geotechnics, you are working with so much soil sample, you're working with so much different deposition. And you probably also need to show how these things are being seen. Whether we are going, I'm now moving towards olden age, or I'm moving towards the younger age. This is all the things you need to express in your SEDLog. So, and you can see the symbols, all these things. When you are seeing all these things on sample, most of them are basically you do it by using, if you use SEDLog, it's easier because I can easily just go to my SEDLog, check, SEDLog. Look up what I'm looking for. Okay. This is the picture of what I did yesterday. So you can see I used to see my screen, yes, right? I used to see my screen.
Yes, we can.
Okay. So here you can see I was able to express my fishes, put a note on it, put an age, put a unit, put formation. This is just what we are going to basically be doing on the SEDLog. So when you are seeing my video, probably you also see you will not see how I did this particular this, because this is also the same data that I'm going to use to doing my video. So you're going to see how I did this. I think we have done almost an hour, and that should be enough for us. I will wait for your question and I'll answer the few I can answer. Then I will also go back and use the remaining time to do the video on this particular workshop and also send it to you. I hope I was able to explain some little things to you. I just want to show you one slide, which is the last of what I'm supposed to show in the whole talking, and which is this slide. I said on it, save your home from aptitude, innovate or you perish. So you can see there is a hand holding this building. Despite the fact that the environment of the hand was not even good, the hand was coming out from water and was still holding this building. Despite the fact that we have already tortured our home already, despite the fact that our home is already crying because of climate issues and so many other crises, but geopolitical crisis, that is still very important for us to put this home in our mind. And this home starting with you. You are your first home before you can build another person's home. So please take care of yourself. If you don't innovate this yourself, you will perish. If you're a lady, you may perish in terms of entering into a bad marriage hand, or if you're a guy, you can also perish into entering into a bad man's hand, or you can also perish into not fulfilling your destiny and you'll be sad all your life. So many ways you can perish, and the only answer is to innovate. What can I do to innovate? That's a question you can ask me and I'll be able to answer you. First of all, I need to know myself. I need to love myself. I need to serve myself. And I need to be with myself. This is the 4 answers to do anything you want to do. First of all, you have to know. Secondly, you love. Third, you serve. Then the 4th thing is to enjoy with it everlasting. So my dear, I will repeat it again. Your curiosity mind gives you your creative mind. And this, your creative mind, will be the thing that will give you ability for you to innovate new ideas. Know it today. You are as smarter as anything you can ever imagine. You have everything it takes. Those people you are thinking they are more productive than you, they are not. The only thing they are is that they are more disciplined and more intentional in building their life than you. So meaning that if you realize these things already, if you see those people you admire and put those things in yourself, opportunity that you have built for yourself and preparedness meets your success. And this is the end of my story. Can I stop? Yes. Thank you for listening.
Thank you very much, Miss Ruth. You've been
Thank you, Ma. Thank you,
inspirational.
Ma.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you,
We
Ma.
Really
appreciate
appreciate
it.
it. So,
All right.
thank you
God
very much
bless
for
you.
this lecture. I believe
All right. Cheers.
Bye.
Bye.
So we'll hear from you later.
Yes, I'm going to be sending the videos.
Session.
You are the one that is doing your physics, right?
So we can now leave